What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. And so, in the news, we have two female Scandinavian tourists brutally murdered in, I think it was Morocco. And, my thought, as sad as it is, I always wonder, when are people going to learn? I was listening to another commentator, and he was going down the list of all of these liberal activists, supporters, the ones that really believe in cultural diversity and inclusion, and they have bought into this liberal belief that we have to just have cultural relativism, just to simply say, you know what, we don't have the right to judge other cultures based off of how our culture exists. We must indulge into their culture and absorb it from their perspective and non-judgmental. That is telling someone to suspend your natural suspicions, your natural observation that is designed to keep you safe. See, you can make a good assessment off of something, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a stereotype, but it can be just enough data to make you say, well, you know what? I'm not going to take the chance. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take the chance. Yeah, there's a high probability that you can walk through a bunch of snakes laying on the ground and not get bit. But there's a high chance you might get bit as well. See, I was watching some stuff, and see, this is how people have to learn, and you would hope they would learn by observation, but apparently they're not. They're not. And I'm going to get to my point in a second. I was watching these snake handlers, preachers, and he's down there in Tennessee, and he's, God said, and he's handling the snake, and the snake said, bit him on the face, and he's like, and God said, and his face starts flying down. Oh, I'm in trouble. Now, that right there is tempting God to punish you. You're sitting back like, I know snakes got fangs. I know snakes bite humans. I also know that these are poisonous snakes with fangs, with poison that bite humans. But I'm going to throw this around my neck, get the music going, all loud, people clapping tambourines, and then assume that this snake is just going to be nice and calm on my back and snuggled up with me, and then you bit. And the dude got rushed to the hospital and almost died. Several of them did die. And guess what? The people in the church was like, this is our way of life. And somebody else pick up the snake and go right into it. And I'm going, See, this is the problem. The people who go to these countries, they assume that everybody means us well. And they assume that everybody else's culture respects life just like maybe a Western country does, like America. We're not going to sit back and say, we got some tourists over here and let's just kill them because they are not from America. You got to understand, when you go to some of the countries that do not have legitimate governments, that have broken governments or corrupt governments, the citizens know that, and they are able to get away with a whole bunch of stuff that maybe a more civilized society would not let you get away with, like taking these two girls and killing them. And one of them had something on her page. She was an activist, and the page was talking about how you don't judge Muslims by the way that they look and all of this stuff. And I'm thinking, what was going through your mind when the people you wanted to show an example of that they're not like you all think they are turn on you, and now you're going, maybe I should have bought into a little bit of that assessment? Some stereotypes have validity to them. I hate to tell y'all. There are some black neighborhoods that I won't go in, okay? Don't get me wrong. I could go ahead and fake it till I make it. What up, though, man? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, homie. Give me love, man. You good? You good? All right, then. But trust me, there's some neighborhoods I go, man, they might see through that. They might not be like, this cat, he been out the hood for too long. I know the game. And I also know that there are certain environments I can look at and say, why would I tempt myself? Why would I go into that environment and know that there's a potential threat of violence? Could it be that for the last 10 years, all the Western and European countries been telling everybody that all these other countries, they're not like that everybody says they are. And what we have to do is reach out to them and show them that we believe that they're just like everyone else and all of that stuff. And you buy into it and you get these people that will go to countries that have high potential of doing something horrible to Westerners, period. There's some countries you just don't want to go to, y'all. Right now, I'm not going to Russia to hang out, okay? I'm not going there to have a drinking game going on. Mishka, come on, let's keep going. No, I'm not going there. Ivan, more drinks. No, I'm not going there. Certain parts of Mexico, Haiti, certain countries in Africa, and I'm black. All right, but I've seen what Africans do to other Africans, okay? So my point is, North Korea, most Arab countries over there, maybe with an escort, I might go, and I'm talking about a military one. I ain't talking about just a couple bodyguards, okay? So my point that I'm trying to make is there are certain places in the world that they don't believe what we believe. And this commentator went down a list of all of these victims who were very liberal in their thinking and wanted to reach out and go into dangerous places so they can prove points that, these are all stereotypes that people have in the West, and they're just horrible. And we don't believe them. We're going to disprove it. And all of them ended up becoming victims. The husband-wife couple that wanted to go biking over in somewhere, and they ended up getting ran over and killed by ISIS. People who's getting raped, killed, heads cut off, all of them. And they all had something in common, okay? I hate to say this, and I ain't using identity politics, but they were all white, okay? Black people, if this was a horror movie, then, some of those stereotypes about the horror movies is kind of true. Black people, we go, man, I'm not going over there. Like, that's crazy. Black people, we got a sixth sense of danger. Like, when I used to go out sometimes down like at the fair or something downtown, it's a whole bunch of people, and all of a sudden, I see a bunch of people running at me. I don't stop and be like, well, why is everyone running? What's going on down there? Maybe I need to go and investigate. I just say, you know what I'm going to do? Turn and run with the people. And we'll figure it out afterwards. But what I'm not going to do is go, well, let me go down there and investigate. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, God, why? See, so when you look at certain things, you got to say, you got to have better instincts. Okay, now, let me get back to the white people part of it, because I'm not saying that white people are naive, even though in the movies sometimes they do. Well, honey, let me open that door and see what's going on in there. But nonetheless, what has happened in the last couple of years is this push for white guilt to reach out and to all these cultures. All right. And we have to embrace and become one big melting pot and take in everyone and show them that we're the saviors. We're the saviors of the human race. And I'm thinking to myself, don't do that. Worry about your country. All right. You're an American. Worry about America. OK, worry about your spot. Stay in your lane. And I think a lot of white people at this point is trying to fall into this liberal push through the media, through some of the European countries and some of the politicians in America that is causing these people to become naive and to think that all of their suspicions or some of the data that we've been hearing down throughout the years, it's all just propaganda and there's no truth to it. So therefore, I'm going to be the one to show everybody how to step out and be a pioneer and go over and reach out to these people. Oh my God, now I'm tied up. See, so you cannot allow liberalism and this whole push for globalism, and they cover it up. See, all the murders that took place, all the people who believed in liberalism and reaching out and multiculturalism and all of this stuff, those people, when they were killed, they covered that stuff up. You don't hear that in the news. It's like, we don't want that to get out because we're still pushing this propaganda. We want people to not demonize and judge and all this stuff, but that's cool. You ain't got to demonize all of them, but use a little bit of common sense. So if I know that there has been recordings of people being killed from other countries because there's a portion of that culture that simply do not believe what you believe, whether it be religious motivations to hurt people from other places, political, whatever. It could be just we rob and steal over in this country. You don't go to broken countries with bad governments, weak police forces, all of that stuff, and just wander around the country and think that there's no chance of anything happening to me. All right. A lot of times they see you as victims. If you don't believe me, I mean, I went to the Bahamas and they like, man, you know, we assume Americans got money and we gonna get every dime out of you because Americans spend, they naive, you know, whatever. And they tried to get me. I got off the plane, had my little bag. The brother was like, yo, man, let me carry your bags, man. I was like, nah, man, I carry my own bags. No, let me get them. I said I can carry my own bags, man. Dude was gonna muscle me to carry my bags. I was like, go on now. Go on, don't make me get crazy on you, brother. I can carry my own bags. So they know how to get you one way or another. But in this case, they got him. And I mean, I didn't watch the video. Somebody told me about it. And just hearing it, I watched another commentator describe it. And I was thinking to myself, that got to be a horrible situation. And the worst part about everyone who became a victim of those countries that had this mentality that nobody is evil. There's no evil in the world. That's all made up in our mind. I always think to myself, what is going through your mind when the reality hits you that I'm about to become a victim of my ignorance, my naivety, all the propaganda, fake pushing this and that, and you're tied up and you're thinking to yourself, I brought this on myself. I did not have to come here. I came here for whatever reason, to prove a point, to feel good on the inside, and now I'm about to pay the ultimate price for what? For what? There are certain cultures, parts of cultures, certain countries, they're not going to change their views of that. It would almost be a slap in their face if we came over and said, we're going to make all y'all change y'all views. That would be like them coming over here saying, we're going to make Americans change our views. Man, get out of here with that. If you're not coming over here to assimilate and be a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. Get out of here. Same thing with people from the West and Europe going all these countries. We're going to go over and make it. They don't want, a lot of people don't want that. All right. So it's a tragedy. It really is. But it could have been prevented if people in certain countries, and I'm talking leadership, would give accurate information about the danger of some of these broken countries and not cover this stuff up in an attempt to make everything look like roses and it's fluffy and nobody ever gets hurt and everybody means everybody well and we don't want to badmouth everybody. Political correctness and fear of stereotyping and all of that stuff will get you killed. I'm sorry, y'all. There's some things I'm just going to stereotype. If I'm walking by and I see a dog behind a fence going, I'm not going to think it's smiling at me. I'm going to be like, that dog's growling. If I see a whole bunch of men with white sheets on their head and burning crosses, I'm not going to say it's a Halloween party. They're dressed up like ghosts. Let me go over and investigate. I'm not going to do it. If I see brothers standing on the corner with red bandanas or blue bandanas, I'm not going to be like, wow, they all just really love the color red. Let me go over and hang out with those guys. There's some things I'm not going to do. Call it a stereotype, call it a built-in safety mechanism, but it could save your life. And it doesn't make you racist, judgmental, all of that stuff. Hey, you might be a great person, but I'm not going to chance it. All right? Yes, I go through some neighborhoods and lock my doors just like a white man that would ride through the same neighborhood and lock his doors. I'll be like, man, these brothers standing there looking at me like I'm a steak. Yeah, that's a pretty nice ride that brother got over there. So I'd be like, click it, just like that. So anyway, it's a sad thing. Could have been prevented. Man, you know, when would they learn? You know, haven't they watched enough scary movies? I mean, you know what? It's always the people who just, well, let's go over and investigate. Always get it, man. Anyway, God bless you. Find me on Wednesday nights, 7:30, live in Kevin's Corner. I go live on YouTube and I go on the radio live. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, notification button. If you want to support Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's a link in the bottom to do that as well. And check out Extreme Tees. They gave me a new shirt today. It's feeling good, y'all. It's feeling real good. So check them out. Links in the bottom. If you need a promo code, just put my name in, Kevin. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.